So we're a bit further down in the south of Cornwall for this afternoon's adventure, and I'm so excited once again. We're on the northern coast. I think this is St Ives Bay here, and I've just chosen quite a little specific section of what is the southwest coastal path, and it's a bit of a headland, and we should have some wonderful opportunities for landscape photography. So I think we're going to get, or should I say I'm hopeful we're going to get, some very specific conditions this evening. Of course, we never know as photographers. I always say that's part of the fun. But the ingredients are looking good, and I'll try and talk you through what it is that I mean. Well, what an incredible dramatic location. This is looking good for the evening's photography. Now, over the past 2 or 3 days really, we've had rain, and lots of it. It's been a little bit stormy, lots of wind, and today's been particularly bad. However, as we edge towards the sunset, that weather system is moving southwards, and it is going to reveal clear skies. And it is those specific conditions that I wanted to talk about in today's video. And from my experience over the years of landscape photography, I have found that these very specific conditions are some of the best to come out and shoot in if you can make it work, because, oh, you can get so much drama. I'm trying not to build it all up in my head, you know, because I mean, oh, we're even getting some light breaking through up there in the clouds, and that's the first bit of light I've seen in about 3 days. It's brilliant. And yeah, you could get some fantastic conditions. You get a lot of moisture left over in the atmosphere, and if you then get light, all of that moisture just intensifies everything. That's when you can get real dramatic conditions. So this lighthouse that you can see here, this little island, is in a wonderful position to shoot sunset this time of year. And I mean, look at all of this. It's absolutely incredible. I'm just going to spend the next 2 or 3 hours here around about sunset time, just trying to find some little compositions, but fingers crossed indeed that these conditions happen, because they could be cracking. Oh, and there we go once again. We've got some nice slippy rocks to deal with. Always a challenge, always a challenge. Wow, look at this here, for goodness sake. It's one of them where it feels like it's just been placed here for landscape photographers. This is just absolutely mint. I think it's going to be tricky, but I'm going to play around with the camera here, see if I can get that lighthouse off in the background through this huge gap. Oh, this is brilliant. So first things first, 24 to 200mm lens on, and I'm at 35mm. I say first things first because I found focal length here has been really important, because I wanted to shoot quite wide to capture a load of these, the rocks and everything, the little pool down in the foreground, but at the same time, I didn't want to be too wide so that the lighthouse kind of falls off a bit too far away in the distance. That's still a really important piece to this composition. So I'm happy with that. And then portrait orientation, as you can see, and I've just got the lighthouse up in the top right-hand corner. Now, technically, perhaps a little bit of a tricky one, and I think I've got a really good tip for you as well. So I'm having to put myself in a weird spot here because of the wind. It is flying through this little tunnel here, but let me get onto this tip. I think some of you will really like this, and this is all to do with focus stacking. So as you can probably see there, this is my composition, and for me, everything has to be sharp here, so it needs to be a focus stack. I want the foreground rocks with all the beautiful texture to be pin sharp, and of course, I want the background, the lighthouse, the cliffs, the waves, all to be sharp as well. Now, for this tip, I'm using the automated focus stacking feature on my Z7, which first and foremost relies on you getting the closest focal point in your composition to start off with. Now, in this case, I'm finding it quite difficult. If I just show you, I don't know if it's like this wall or this wall. It's very hard for me to tell. So what I like to do is put my hand in front of the Nikon Z7 like that, and I will focus on my hand like that. I keep that focal point there and then start the focus stack. So you could see then the closest focal point is way before any elements in the composition that I'm shooting. And of course, providing you've set the focus stack to take enough shots as it goes deeper through the image, you're definitely gonna capture that, you know, nearest focal point. It's a little bit of an insurance policy, and it's a tip that always works for me when I do my focus stacking. Oh my gosh, the wind! So I've come a little bit further round because I want to try and get a perspective, well, like we've got here, where I've got full view of the island, kind of like a full uninterrupted view where we can have him in the frame and he looks nice and tidy up in the top of the frame, you know, rather than being kind of cut off by any of the rocks. So this is looking a little bit better. I might try and go over in that direction somewhere over there. Obviously, if you ever come to this location, safety, as anywhere really, is of the utmost priority. I mean, look at this. Look at how dramatic it is. It could be so tempting. It can lure you in, can't it? It can seduce you, the sea. Come and photograph me, lad. But yeah, just be careful. Just have your wits about you. So I'm just having a quick look on the Photo Pills app, which has got this brilliant augmented reality mode that kind of shows you in real time where the sun is and the sort of path of the sun as it is setting. You can see it's setting over there, around about there, and I have got it completely and utterly wrong. I don't know what I was thinking, but for some reason I thought the sun was setting over there behind the island, which is a little bit daft, little bit of a mistake on my part. But it just means I'm gonna change my plan a little bit just in case anything does happen with the light, because you can see behind me there, look, just as forecast, those clear skies are starting to come in. So I'm happy with the shot that I got in the little tunnel. So in a way it's good. It's gonna force me to try something a little bit different, and I might go up and around these cliffs here just to try and get a little bit of a different perspective on this landscape as soon as though the sun is setting in, well, pretty much the opposite direction of where I thought, man. Madness. So we've still got about an hour and a half until the sunset, and like I just said, look, everything is clearing up exactly like the forecast was saying. However, I don't think I'm gonna like start chasing the sunset and, you know, forcing myself to face where the sun's going down and stuff. I'll just keep an eye on it. I'm in a brilliant position here where we've basically got 360-degree views. But for now, look at this channel down here, absolutely incredible. I'm gonna try and get another shot of our lovely little lighthouse island. Oh wow, so this is fantastic. Oh, I'm just zipping my bag up here in case we get any rogue waves, but I think we're gonna be okay. Look at that for a scene, absolutely incredible. Wide angle lens straight on, so I can capture all of this beautiful channel down here. Polarizer and tree stop ND filter again, and we're looking at about 1/4 of a second. Same as the last shot really. Shutter speed is just the priority here, and I like those quick slow shutter speeds, or those slow quick shutter speeds, about 1/4 of a second, half a second, something like that. And you know, that's all personal preference. What do you like to shoot? In fact, drop some comments down below. Do you prefer a quicker shutter speed for these sorts of scenes? I know a lot of you do, because some of you tell me that, but yeah, the quicker shutter speeds aren't really for me most of the time. I like capturing a bit of movement in the water. And I might stick around here for a little bit longer, because look, if we get just for 10 seconds the sun coming out and painting this scene before us, that would be wonderful. So look at that in the direction where the sun is setting there. I think it's safe to say that everything that I was talking about at the start of the video, where we get this dramatic light after certain weather conditions when it's been rainy and stormy. That has happened. A little bit of a shame that I got the location wrong and the direction of the sunset, but I don't feel too disheartened because this direction is just as beautiful, man. And oh, if we just get a little spray of that light over here, wow, that is incredible, man. That is absolutely incredible. So a little bit of a dilemma here, the photographer's dilemma. One of the many dilemmas that we face. I just don't know if I should stick here and hope that we get a little burst of light, or start focusing my attention in that direction because it looks so beautiful. Ugh, what to do, man, what to do? Oh, look at that over there. Oh, there's your dinner. There's your 3-course meal. Oh, get in there, you little rat bag. So, oh my gosh, in true Henry Turner fashion, I didn't know whether to stick or twist. So I've decided to try and do frigging both. So as the light just peeked out there, I grabbed that composition again. I'll pop it up on the screen. It looks wonderful with the light, I'm sure you'll agree. Now, my only problem with it, as I was staring at it, was it looked a bit heavy on the left-hand side, that big cliff. Still all right, but I just wanted to see if I can grab something else, a little bit more balanced, perhaps. Two words for you, ladies and gents. Utter carnage, and I'm loving it, man. This is well good. Oh, I have missed Como big time. Just got the Atlantic Ocean here smashing into me in my camera. Loving every second. This is quality. So I've come a little bit further around. Actually, you may be able to see my bag on the floor there. The channel we were photographing just a second ago is just over there. I've kind of just come to the other side of that little channel. And here I am. I feel like we're more in the thick of it here. Look at this, absolutely class, man. So, remote shutter on, wide angle, polarizer, and we're at f14, ISO 64, and it's getting us, again, I think about half a second, maybe 1/3. I feel like there's a big difference between those small increments of shutter speeds, you know. Half a second looks very different from 1/3 of a second, and so on and so forth. But yeah, I think I prefer this composition. It feels a little bit more balanced. I think the last one was all right. And look, here's the thing, that light, I promise you, I probably say a lot of these things sometimes with a bit of hyperbole, but that was definitely the most fleeting light I have ever witnessed. Honestly, there's been no light for 3 days, and that lasted for about 25 seconds. So I'm not looking at it in a negative way. I'm looking at it positively. I was lucky. I had my camera set up on the tripod, good to go when that light was there. So that's brilliant. But anyway, we've come around here now and we've got the sunset colours. So yeah, it's truly just been one of those really enjoyable photography experiences on the coast. Remote shutter on, like I said, and just firing off shots as these waves are flying in here down in the foreground. And you know, we've got that lighthouse up there on the top right hand side of the frame, and it just feels more balanced. Like I said, we've just got this sort of headland on the right hand side, all of these rocks over my right shoulder that you can see there. And it feels wonderful. I just hope I've got the shutter speed right. That's the only thing that's playing on my mind a little bit, but I'm sure it'll be fine. So for those of you that are following along on my Advent series, you may remember a few videos ago when I was in Banai Brechinnog, or the Brecon Beacons in Waterfall Country. And I felt really down on myself because I left feeling really unsatisfied with the photographs that I got. And yeah, it really got to me. And I wanted to mention that again because this evening has been pretty much the direct opposite to that evening. So yeah, from this location, I am leaving with similar feelings of dissatisfaction or unsatisfaction, whatever the word would be, about the photography. But in this case, it's really different because it's not bothering me, because the experience and the enjoyment of this evening has come to the forefront. That's been the most important thing. Whereas when I was in Waterfall Country, It was the lack of good photographs, or so I thought at the time, that was the most important thing to me. And man, I just really wanted to mention it because yeah, this feels like a real contrast. This is how I often feel when I leave places where I think, oh, I didn't really get the most out of the location. However, what an experience, what an evening. And I don't really know why I'm mentioning it, because a lot of the times we can't really control those feelings, but I try my best if I can to feel the way that I'm feeling tonight about a location. Yes, all right, I mean, look at it, it's incredible. I feel like I could have definitely got more out of those conditions, but goodness me, like, you'll never be happy if you always think like that as a landscape photographer, will you? You'll never be satisfied. But I really hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you got some good tips with focus stacking actually. And yeah, like I was saying, really try and get out when the conditions are looking like that. If there's been an extended period of rain or storms especially, anytime after those conditions, generally you get real dramatic conditions, which is what we had. You know, that's what we had this evening. I just got my sunsets wrong. But yeah, anyway, I'm back to the van. Please hit the subscribe button. We are nearly at the end of the Advent series. Just a few videos left, and I appreciate all your support so much. And yeah, hitting that subscribe button just in itself proper helps me out. And yeah, off back to the van, and I shall see you on the next adventure. Out.